Good evening. We're looking at the landrace corn. I had 4 types of corn out here. I had a field corn that has high beta carotene. I have a sweet corn that came from a solid red ear, one ear. And I have another type of corn which is right here that we're going to look at in this video. And then we have another weird one that was ancient corn. But these are all landrace corns, and these are a couple of years into the breeding project. So I had one corn stalk last year that had perfect characteristics, and it had 2 ears of corn on it, on one stalk, and they were both full-sized and beautiful, and it was sweet corn. It was a bicolor sweet corn, which means it had white kernels and yellow kernels in the same ear. And so this whole section right here was like 20 feet long, and then about 10 rows in here came from those 2 ears of corn. So this whole patch came from there. So what I'm doing now is I'm looking for genetics that I want to select. So we didn't eat any of this corn. We're looking for the genetics we want. So as you look up here at this corn, see this one right here? That one was really tall. And right behind you, there's another one that's the very same tallness. So if we were looking for tall stalks, we would save the seed from those 2 to carry on those genetics. That's not my criteria. I don't care how tall it is. I want 2 ears, full-sized ears, on one stalk. That's what I want. And we're going to keep doing that year after year after year. And so if we look at this corn stalk right here, this one here, it has 1 ear, and it's bicolor. The birds have been eating it right there. And so you come down and that's it. It's only 1 ear. So what will I do with this? We could pick it, we could eat it, we could feed it to livestock, we could put it in the compost. There's a lot we could do, but we won't keep that for seed because that's not my criteria. But look at this one next to it. Same thing. Birds have been eating it, it's starting to dry up. Here's this one. Now this one has 2 ears, but that is not a full-sized ear. That's a nothing. But here's an ear, okay? So if we come over here, now here's one that develops 2 ears. A lot of times developing 2 ears is not so much genetic, it's more environmental. So we want to see what happens. So is this a good one to keep? Well, it has an ear and a nubbin. And a lot of times that's an environmental thing. How much moisture did they get? And those kinds of things. So what I'll do is I'll go through this entire field, which isn't very big. It was only a couple of hundred stalks of corn here. But we're going to look at every single one and see if there's an ear on here that has 2 ears. And if I have one with 2 full ears, that's the one I'm going to keep. If not, this might be the one I keep right here because it did have 2 ears. So look at how big this one is. So that one's pretty nice. That one's long, and it was filled out clear to the very end. The pollination was good. But what we know is it also had the genetics to be able to do that all the way up. Okay, so here's one with 2 ears. Now this is a nubbin, it's a little one, plus the full-sized one. So that's what we're looking for in this field right here. So whatever your criteria is, you need to know that criteria so when you go out and pick, you're not just picking something random, or you don't know what genetics you're passing on to the next year. We could have any criteria. We could say we want a corn out of here that is a different color. We want a red one or a blue one. And we may find that in here. So you need to pick your criteria, know what it is when you save your seed. But I don't want to pick these yet because they're still green in the leaves, and I want all the nutrition from the plant to go into that corn before I pick it. It needs to be completely dry on the stalk before I pick it. So this is another 3 or 4 weeks before we actually take the seed off. Hopefully this helps you to breed your own landrace corn.